a pretty good deal. $300 off on Sealy Posturepedic and Simmons Beauty Rest. And a good, maybe a suggestion is you turn right around and you put that $300 into the sheets and the pillows, some new jammies, and you're sleeping pretty for a while. 3 years interest-free financing, even on Sleep Train's exclusive new Temper HD models. You get the guaranteed lowest price with their 100-night low price guarantee. So if you're sitting there going, yeah, but I'll find a better deal. You never say that when you go to Sleep Train, because they take care of, taking all the risk, all the gamble out, and I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, they're going to guarantee you that if you find a mattress at Sleep Train and you buy it, and somebody else later on has it for a cheaper price, they're going to still refund the money. They're going to beat it by 5% and will refund you some money. They'll cut you a check right there. Or maybe they'll give you food coupons. No, it's cash. Anyway, go to Sleep Train, Corvallis, Albany, Eugene, and Springfield. And when you go in there, tell them those two guys from that station that's over there by the river, they sent us. Tell them that.
See a problem on the commute? Be an official KPNW Wake Up Call Road Ranger today. Call 541-344-2424 and report it. Dakota Ring and Road Ranger Keep and Sombrero sold separately. The Road Ranger Network, exclusively on 1120 KPNW.
News Radio 1120 KPNW with some clouds out there and currently 52 degrees. So, two guys robbed a Mickey D's on Sunday, happened in eastern France. They fired a warning shot up in the air to get the attention of about 40 people that were in Mickey D's, eastern France. So one guy fires the shot, the other guy jumps behind and gets the counter cabbage and takes off with about $2,200. Ran out of the restaurant. Got away. Kind of. They got out of the restaurant. Two of the 40 that were enjoying their Mickey D's happened to be members of an elite special forces team involved with hostage negotiation. So they realized if they do anything during the actual event, probably not the safest of times to do that. So they waited till they exited, and that's when they chased the guys. One of the guys turns around, and he's probably got some adrenaline after just robbing a Mickey D's, and so he goes to fire a shot, and one of the special forces men shot him in the stomach. So the other guy hightailed it out. So they were able to get the guy to the hospital. Don't freak out. Everything's, I think, going to be okay. But he's expected to survive. Kind of bad, and who knows, we don't know any backstory. But I would think, there are some folks that maybe aren't just cut out for a life of crime. Maybe that's just, karma saying, you know what, maybe you should, just kind of not do this. This is not a good thing. I mean, they're lucky when you got people firing guns. And you used to see this in New Orleans all the time. You get these, folks just, and it happens everywhere.
Right.
But they get, kind of this mightier than thou attitude, and they start firing guns everywhere. And then all of a sudden, somebody innocent, not even a part of the scene, gets hit.
I think the part of the story that amazes me the most is that there were 40 people inside of a French McDonald's. That, to me,
really
was the shocker right there. Oh, yeah, because the French for years have been anti-McDonald's because they feel that it's, an invasion of their homogenous French culture. And they picketed McDonald's for years. That's why I was like, 40 people at a French McDonald's? What? That's
aside from paying $15 for a
I was thinking,
burger.
Maybe it must be, in the parking lot of an airport or something, and they're all, they're not even French people that are in there.
Didn't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah, they're travelers of some sort. Oh, look, the Golden Arches here in France. Anyway, that's what I took away from it.
Two guys are facing charges for armed robbery. So another, and I expected to read, and just because of what happened with our Roseburg hero, I expected it, special forces, like, from the U.S. over there, and no.
Yeah, because, you don't expect the French have special forces either. There's another thing that's going against cultural type. So you just, think about those things.
And that's Bill London saying those words.
Yeah, I own it. I'm going to own that. Why would I not own it?
Cloudy. I guess I'm rejoicing. I'm jumping up and down for the just a little bit of the break. After a while, if we could have your 95, 100 degrees, and then have a day of 75, just to get a breeze, just to kind of get some circulation, I'd be okay with that. There's only like probably 8 days throughout the year that you like really need your air conditioning, and today, not one of those days. Although, I would say, I wouldn't put myself in the elite class that we have over there at Hayward Field. Having done activity out when it's really warm and having overcast skies and 65, 70 degrees, I'll say today is going to be an ideal day for track and field for watching it, because you're not going to get overly.
Yeah, yesterday was pretty good too.
Overly hot, and we'll just hope that the rain doesn't get too crazy tomorrow and Saturday. Ends up on Saturday.
And by the way, you can hear the reports from the NCAA's, KPNW, just like we always do when we have the big national track meets here at the University of Oregon. We'll have reports at the bottom of the hour starting at 11:30 this morning.
Had a question about where he is doing his reports. Where around Hayward Field is he kind of roving, or does he have a special booth or table?
He roves around, and then when he's getting ready to send the reports to us, he heads back to the press. They have kind of a press area that's set back there, mainly because that's where he plugs the equipment in and fires it off to us. We get it in the system, and then he's back out doing what he does.
So somebody wants to go
see Justin.
Watch Justin in motion. Probably you just kind of have to keep your eyes open. You're going to have to
follow the guy wandering around with the open laptop.
Okay.
So.
All right. Dr. Tiffany Sanders going to join us next. Stand by. It's 11:20 KPNW.
For the all-new John Deere riding mowers, tractors, and side-by-sides, think Ramsey Waite.
Make tracks to Ramsey Waite for John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers.
There's nothing like a John Deere Gator utility vehicle. From hard-working and trail-ready to the ultimate in work capability. Get into a Gator now at Ramsey Waite.
Don't just dream about it, wait for it.
Ramsey Waite.
Open Monday through Saturday. Franklin Boulevard, Glenwood. Online at RamseyWaite.com.
Hi, it's Matt from Pressure Point Roofing. If you hire the cheapest contractor to do your roof, doesn't it make sense that you'll get the cheapest work, too? When you trust Pressure Point to do your roof, you'll get only the highest quality work with the best warranty in the business. We are the longest-standing Master Elite contractor in the state and take great pride in our work. We're clean, efficient, respectful, and professional. For roofing, windows, and siding, start at the top. Pressure Point Roofing.
Visit PressurePointRoofing.com today.
Hey, Russell Wilson here, and I know how important exercise is.
It's essential. It's essential.
With Play 60, United Way and the NFL are helping kids stay active and play at least 60 minutes a day.
Healthy kids, healthy kids.
But what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org/play60 because great things happen when we live united.
Donate.
Are you guys going to do that every time?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
It may be hard to believe, but people just like you are already saving money. FeedThePig.org makes it easy. Their simple savings plan teaches you how to start saving without going overboard. So you don't need to ditch the car and start rollerblading to work.
I look ridiculous.
You look ridiculous!
You don't need to start foraging wild berries.
I was skeptical, but these are actually pretty good.
You don't need to sell your organs on the black market.
Lie back. This is gonna hurt.
Yeah, that hurts.
You don't need to rent out your apartment to drifters.
I made a fire with the wood in your bedroom
That's my dresser!
and your closet door.
You just need an internet connection. Don't get left behind. Start your personal savings plan with the tips and tools on feedthepig.org. That way, you don't need to sell all your belongings and live in a commune.
These dungarees belong to all of us now, Tom.
Brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
KPNW weather brought to you by Ramjack West. Do you have foundation problems? Ramjack can fix that. Get your free quote at ramjackwest.com.
Good morning. If you're headed out that door in the next few minutes or you're already out and about, we do have mostly cloudy skies from an approaching weak storm system and cold front set to move through the area over the next few hours. Temps right now are in the mid-50s to low 60s with winds out of the west at 5 to 10. And we do have a 20% chance of a few light sprinkles out there, but I don't expect any real accumulation. Now, as we move through the day around noontime, the cold front will pass through. That's when we will have a chance of showers that could last 5 or 10 minutes. We could be talking about maybe 1/10 of an inch. As we move into the afternoon, we'll see a couple hours of partly cloudy skies, but I don't expect them to last long. Highs will only be in the upper 60s to low 70s, so much cooler than it has been the last few days. Winds will stay southwest at 5 to 10, and we're tracking several disturbances, bringing in chances of showers into Friday and Saturday, and maybe even just a few isolated thunderstorms Saturday afternoon. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Nation, the NBC 16 Weather Center, hoping you have a fantastic day.
Super serving the 15. The Wake Up Call. Mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
Please clap.
On News Radio 1120 KPNW.
News Radio 1120 KPNW. Well, it's always been sort of generally accepted that, you hear that these commercials that you see on TV or some of the programs where you have the women in the tight dresses or the hot jeans or the bikinis, that it creates women who have a miserable idea about their own body image. Well, somebody went out and actually did a little studying about this, and what their new study revealed is that men and women are equally miserable about their body images. To talk a little bit about that this morning is author Dr. Tiffany Sanders. She is a PhD, a licensed psychologist, and she's the founder of Sanders & Associates. She joins us on the Wake Up Call. I think, we've heard this over the years that this, I guess, the sexualization of women and everything else creates, women with a bad body image, etc., and apparently that spills over into guys too, huh?
Absolutely, and thank you for having me. So what's so interesting about this study that was conducted by NBC Today, an online show, and it was 12,000 online surveys, and so it appears in the Body Image Journal. And what they found was that the amount of women disliking their bodies is around the same as the amount of men who feel the same thing about theirs. And so 6% of men and 9% of women reported that they were to extremely dissatisfied with their looks. And 15% of men and 20% of women said that they felt to extremely dissatisfied with their weight. So in the past, we stereotypically thought that women were the main ones who were obsessing about weight and image and hair and all those sort of things. And women were the ones flocking to the plastic surgeons. And what we're finding is that men, too, have those same sort of distorted thoughts about themselves and how they look and the way they feel. And so it's so fascinating because we need to target interventions the way that they have interventions for women, like the Dove body campaign. We need those things for men just as well.
Well, okay. So couldn't we assume, though, that people are going to, regardless of the situation and regardless of the media and everything else, that there's going to be people that naturally have a problem with their body image? And that's just a natural part of being a human being, is just like, I've got a little bit of a gut. That's not good.
Well, I think that's healthy, right, for us to naturally look at our bodies and examine it in the mirror from time to time and to say, well, I think it's time for me to get back in the gym, or I think I need to change my eating habits, or my exercise routines. Now,
or I need to get
natural.
a bigger Speedo. Yeah, go ahead.
Or get bigger pants, right? I think we can agree that that's natural. Now, when it gets to the level of obsessiveness, and we are thinking about it all the time, we're making appointments to see surgeons, we can also categorize this as a form of anxiety called body dysmorphia, right? And so these individuals can't control their negative thoughts, and they don't believe what people tell them, that they look fine. And so women and men both struggle with this, and probably not to the degree as women in the past, we thought, but actually the research is showing it is. Men have these same issues just as women do.
Huh. Does it surprise you at all?
Does it surprise me? No, I'm going to be honest. I'm glad my boyfriend's out of the house. He spends 2 to 3 hours in the gym, and he makes comments about, man, do I look, he said this morning, can you see my belly, do my pants look tight? And so I look at him, I'm like, you're one of these individuals I've been talking about this morning, about this study, and I feel bad in cases where, people like this, because, they have this perfection of this image that it's often very difficult to obtain, right? Think about it. A lot of these images that bombard us, that tell us what beauty looks like and how much you should weigh, are Photoshopped. Right? And these Instagram photos that people post, many of them have filters, and that you can do certain things to make yourself appear skinnier and so forth. So what I find is that men and women do both have these same difficulties, but we have to realize beauty comes in all different shapes and sizes. Healthy weight comes in all different shapes and sizes. And we have to be more appreciative of how we are and have more positive images for men and for women.
Well, this leads me to, one of those ponderables, and it's this. So then what do you suggest if, say, your spouse asks you, does this make my butt look big? Should you be honest and say yes or lie?
I think if it makes their butt look big and it doesn't look flattering on them, keep it straight and say, hey, honey, I don't think that flatters you the best. Maybe this figure might look, maybe an A-line dress might look a little bit more flattering. You don't think I look flat? No, I don't think you look fat. I think you're beautiful as you are. But if you want to flatter yourself in a better dress, this might be more flattering to your body type. It's just, I think men have to practice it, right? You just have to practice the language of making it sound less accusatory, less demeaning, and more, constructive and supportive.
So did you tell your boyfriend that, why, yes, as a matter of fact, those pants do are too tight? Did you
I am a very open person, so I said, maybe you might want to buy a pair of pants that's just a little longer, just to cuff your pants a little bit, cuff your shoes, and he was asking about his stomach, and I said, no, I think you look fine. I love you. I tell him all the time, I love you as you are. He asked me more questions, and I tend to be a little bit more supportive. But if there are times when it's just not flattering, I'm like, hey, dude, this is not looking cute on you. You might want to wear the black versus the brown. But it's never coming out of malice, and it's about tone. So I think we just got to practice that.
He sounds like one of those people that fishes for compliments. I mean, if he's spending 2 to 3 hours in the gym, he probably thinks he looks pretty good, and he's just looking for a little compliment.
Well, the male ego can be fragile at times, so you just got to be a little careful with how you hold it, right? So I tend to compliment, but I did have a very frank conversation with him, like 3 hours in the gym. Are you getting what you need from it? Because I don't see much of a difference in the exterior, and you're not hearing much. I don't hear much of a difference in how you complain or give compliments to yourself. So are you getting what you want? And I think he, just like others, watch ESPN. You see all these hot bods, these swimmers, these basketball, football, baseball stars, and you assume that this is what women want. And women actually want an average-looking guy. Of course, we would like you to look like you've been in the gym and take care of yourself, but we don't want to be competing with a man that's always in the gym, in the mirror, because then that might make us feel self-conscious.
You talking about 3 hours at one time?
Yeah, I'm thinking that he's spending a lot of his time sitting at a juice bar or something.
I think some of the times in between, he told me yesterday, I said, hey, you went over your time at the gym because we have him on this little time limit thing. I'm a psychologist. I'm running all my interventions on him. And he said, well, it was leg day, so you got to rest in between leg presses and things like that. I said, oh, sure. You just got caught up watching a video or two on ESPN or something like that. But I think that's what happens. Sometimes people just watch a video and get lost in time. But there are some guys, when I would go to the gym, will be there for hours on end. And so you're going to be like, wow, how can you stay at the gym that long? And these individuals do have this false perception of what beauty and handsome looks like. So they're trying to obtain something that's really not obtainable.
Oh, ouch.
Why don't you tell them that? Why don't you just walk up to the gym and go, you know what? What you're trying to attain is not attainable.
Well, then they'll show a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger back in his prime. Look, he did it. Sure, yeah, I gotcha. And tell me, this is what these individuals do for their living, right? Actors, models, bodybuilders. They're supposed to be in the gym hours on end. They have a personal chef and they have a personal trainer. They have to appear a certain way. But for average, everyday Americans who work 8 to 10 hours, got to commute, got to take care of the kids, we don't have time to spend at the gym trying to chase this perfectionism that really just does not exist. So we got to be healthy about our perceptions. We got to think about ourselves and recognize, I'm going to dress to look good. I'm going to, be grateful that I'm healthy and alive, and I'm not going to chase this false image of looking like Thor or some sort of god.
I don't know. That's not a bad thing. Anyway, Dr. Sanders, thanks for joining us on the Wake Up Call this morning.
Thank you for having me, guys.
All right, you take care. Have a great rest of your day.
Absolutely, thank you.
6:51. By the way, you might want to try A-line jeans or something, Rob. Just saying.
A-line?
Yeah, A-line.
Okay. Let me write that down.
Yeah, A-line jeans.
I think the boyfriend's having an affair at the gym.
That's possible. That's
3 hours.
Good point.
You can get your workout.
I was thinking the same thing. 3 hours, really? He can't be working out that entire time.
No,
not if because she implied, about his jeans being a little too small, meaning that he got kind of a
he might just
fat, but that he's probably not working out. I didn't even really go that I didn't even go to that area that he was having an affair. I didn't think about it, but now that you mention it, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Poor Dr. Sanders.
Oh, well. Seems so sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, it's got to be crushing for her.
It's dark out there. Mostly cloudy with a partly cloudy afternoon. 68 for the top temp. Showers on the way moving in tonight. 40% chance. Overnight low down to 48 degrees. Currently 53 at KPNW.
Get set to save now at Mid-Valley Tractor, your local Kubota dealer. Take command of your lawn care needs with a new Kubota Commander zero-turn mower. Get commercial-grade performance and a full 4-year factory warranty at a price you can afford. Now during the Get Set to Save sales event, get a special introductory price of $38.99 and 0 down and 0% financing for 36 months. Now through June 30, 2016. Call toll-free 1-800-794-4992 for details about cost and terms. Great prices, great products from people you can trust. Mid-Valley Tractor on Highway 99.
The Wake Up Call is live on air and online from the Widmer Brothers studio Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 9. Click on the Wake Up Call banner on KPNW.com and see and hear up-to-the-minute news as well as interviews and more. The Wake Up Call goes down easy, just like a Widmer ale.
Shiloh Inn's Affordable Excellence. Welcome to Shiloh Inn's 4-star accommodations at 2-star affordable prices. I'm Mark Hemstreet, owner of Shiloh Inn's. I personally invite you to enjoy Shiloh Inn's deluxe smoke-free suites, then relax and enjoy our spacious pools and spas with steam and sauna rooms and fully equipped fitness centers. And Shiloh's 4-star treatment is even more affordable with more free amenities than most other hotel chains, like free high-speed internet to a free continental delicious breakfast or full hot breakfast at most Shiloh Inns. Even the kids stay free, and smoke-free Shiloh Inns are all dog-friendly. That's what we mean by 4-star accommodations at 2-star affordable prices. For reservations, call 1-800-222-2244 or visit our website at shilohins.com. Shiloh Inns, affordable excellence, American family-owned and proud of it.
Hey, don't look at me. I didn't invite them.
The Wake Up Call with Holloway in London on News Radio 1120. KPNW.
I'm Gary Conley with today's Money Minute. I've talked from time to time about having cash to invest when something gets cheap. But you can only do that if you either save the money or raise it by selling things when they're expensive. Of course, finding tops is a lot harder than recognizing bottoms. Once you know how, it's pretty easy to tell if a company or a piece of real estate is cheap. If you could say rent a house after all the expenses for a 12% cash-on-cash return, that's a really good deal. Or if you can buy a stock in a company for half the net value of its hard assets, particularly if those assets are largely in cash, that's a deal too, and pretty easy to spot. You just have to buy and then wait for prices to normalize to book a big gain. Buying things this way also limits your risk, even if prices do go lower for a while longer. Here's the nugget. Telling when something is overvalued is not hard either, but that doesn't mean it won't get a lot more expensive before reality sets in and the price collapses. Think about houses in 2005 or 6 and watch the movie The Big Short for a good tutorial. Or better yet, read the book. For many, this book will be a very hard slog, but it's well worth it for the education, and you'll get paid for your time. I'm Gary Conley, and that's today's Money Minute.
The Bloomberg Market Report, sponsored by Pacific Continental Bank, serving your business and community in Eugene for over 40 years.
This is a Bloomberg Market Minute. Stocks are slipping out of the gate as commodity shares decline, with the S&P 500 down from a 10-month high. This amid speculation equities may have run too far too fast, given lackluster prospects for global growth. Crude oil is lower for the first time in 4 days. West Texas Intermediate down 1 1/3%, and a Bloomberg index of commodity prices halted the longest rally since March as the dollar bounced from a 1-month low. Raw material and energy shares have paced equity gains this week amid the dollar's post-payroll sell-off, and the two groups have been pillars in a rebound that's lifted the S&P 500 about 16% from an almost 2-year low in February. The Dow Jones Industrial Average at this hour down 61 points, 1/3% to 17,943. The S&P 500 is trimmed 9 points, 0.4% to 2109. The Nasdaq is down 20 points, 0.4% to 4954. I'm Bob Moon, Bloomberg Radio.
There's a lot of talk on the campaign trail from the liberals and the socialists running for president about the high cost of college. A news story in the Orange County Register demonstrates in a small way one reason college costs so much. There's a math professor at Cal State Fullerton. He has been formally reprimanded by the school because he used less expensive textbooks for his classes. The cheaper books were also better, according to him. Elaine Borz